Hey everyone, today we are talking about replacement toilets, and today we have the Niagra Stealth, and this is a two-piece toilet, and it's a little bit different because it's 0.8 gallons per flush, which is a little bit different than a lot of toilets because most of them are a bit above 1 gallon per flush. And that's just how much water you use, so looking to save a little bit of water, but also this is an interesting toilet in that it saves water, but also is supposed to be extremely quiet. So the current toilet that we have is what it sounds like when it's filling up. And this is what it sounds like when it flushes. I'm going to turn off the water there so that I can not have to suck out so much water. Okay, so we're replacing this puppy. This one's a Mansfield toilet that came with the house. It was built in 2001. So we have this elongated toilet, which is a little bit wider. And the interesting part about this toilet is that it has everything basically built in here. So as you can see, this is a little bit different than what is in here. So if we look inside here, as you can see, it's a little bit different in here. So obviously there's more mechanisms in the other toilet, in the Niagra Stealth. And for good reason, there's no flapper on this one. And that means it's supposed to have less moving parts, but obviously you can see here there's more items in here. So yeah, we'll see what it's like. This thing looks like it can still be replaced pretty easily with parts that you can have in any hardware store, but it's supposed to have a lifetime warranty, obviously limited, and based on the construction of this and the install, yeah, it'll depend on that. So let's get started here. First thing that we're going to do here is drain out all the water. And by drain out, we're going to use the shop vac, suck out all the water, and then throw out all the water into the grass outside. We have our tool set here. So a bunch of tools to get out the bolts. And one of the issues that we were having with this particular toilet was that it was actually leaking into the downstairs. So downstairs we have an open drywall port where we can see exactly where this goes into. So once we install this puppy, we will be able to check that. A lot of people won't have that, so just keep that in mind. So in addition to this, we have a Flushmaster Better Than Wax toilet seal. So instead of wax, which this toilet comes with, we're going to use this rubber one, which is supposed to have a better seal. So hopefully in the future, no more issues with the toilet leaking. So obviously we can double check it to make sure that it's not after waiting a couple days. But yeah, moving forward, we obviously don't want that to happen. So right now we're going to just drain the water. Flush the toilet, make sure as much water is drained out as possible, as you can see here. Obviously you're gonna still have water in the toilet, so you can see here, there's some water right there. And then turned off the water so that no more water goes back in the tank, and still have some water up here. So we're gonna do that now. Oh, dusty. Okay, I think sometimes that's the hardest part, is making sure the water is gone, but next thing we're gonna take out this bolt, and on this side, this bolt. Again, with the toilet, I believe this is 12 inches from the wall. So you do have to measure that to make sure you can use this Niagra toilet. Now, looking at this here, It looks like all the water's about gone, so we'll have to do a couple things here. One is remove this from the tank, and I'll have to also make sure that this reaches high enough for the tank that we have. And then we'll have to remove these 3 bolts, I believe. These 3 little butterfly items. And once we do that, then we can take the tank off, and then we can take the toilet up after we take out these 2 bolts. And then really that's all. There really shouldn't be any issues with water because I just sucked up all the water with the shop vac, which is mostly what you see on DIY TV issues. And I think it's mostly just because they want to make like a scene out of it. But we're not trying to make a mess or a scene or anything like that. So yeah, after that, once the toilet comes up, we get to remove the wax thing, and yeah, then we can go to this and either replace with the hardware that we have here, and yeah, then we can get installing this toilet and then connecting this puppy up and lining everything up. So the other thing that you need is a level, because you want to make sure when you put this down that it's level. So we'll have to get one of those as well. Okay, from what I can see, this is a 13 millimeter. So we're just gonna start doing that here. Get it. Already I can feel the wax. So that's why replacing the wax item with the not wax item is great. We'll loosen this up and take out the water. And it looks like I'll need a specific tool for that. Alright, the tank should be loose, so I should be able to move this. But this is the one thing that I'm having issues with because it does not want to come out. Alright, so I was able to get some of this out. Here's where some water comes out. Clean that up a bit. Alright, the tank is out. That's where the water flushes down into the toilet bowl. Most of this water is gone, so shouldn't have any issues with water going anywhere, but obviously this is going to be pretty heavy, so just want to make sure when I pick this up, no water flushes out. Yeah. Okay, as you can see here, this was pretty dirty, and you know, honestly, you can see where all the water is, and this is actually where you can see the hole in the bottom, and you can see how there's a lot of moisture here that, you know, this clearly needed to be replaced, and the seal was bad here. As you can see, like in here, there's some moldy wood, so not the greatest to bolt this to. So we're gonna clean this up a bit. All right, so we cleaned this up a little bit. After we clean this up, you're gonna take these 2 bolts out, replace it with the new hardware that we have from the new toilets, and then put this puppy on top like this, and then we should have our new seal instead of the wax seal, and then we should be able to mount our toilet on top of it. Okay, so as you can see, sort of the reason why we're having leaks here is it was clearly coming out after you were flushing it, so there's a lot of crud here. So essentially what this seal should do is that, you know, it should make sure once it's installed here, you know, that none of this can actually get out, that this seal is flush and it's better than a wax seal because it's actually material that's solid. So that should never deteriorate away, and that should solve any of the issues with the water flushing out and going this way or anything like that. And I don't see any movement, so I think we're good. Next thing is we'll put the bowl on top, and then we'll tighten these washers and butterflies, and then we'll hook it up here. Okay, so I use a slightly different layout, but I do have the caps on there, so I can put these puppies in. So it looks a little bit flusher. And where'd my other one go? There we go. And on this side. Bam. Alright, and then I put the level here. So as you can see, it's pretty level with everything, so I'm not going to complain about the placement. Then the other issue that I have here is that this water line is not long enough to reach the top here. So when I put this tank on, then I'm gonna need a little bit of extra line for that. So I'm gonna put this on top here just so I can have it there, and then I'm gonna measure out how long I need the hose to be. That's another complaint about this Niagra Stealth, is that it comes with a, I didn't even bring it up here because I know I'm not going to use it. It comes with a, like, not a soft closing toilet seat. So obviously not wanting to make a bunch of noise and different things like that, we definitely want a soft closing one. So I'm going to go to the store, bring the Niagra Stealth toilet seat with me and match it up with one that is soft closing. That's, you know, a plastic one. Alright, so we have our new hose, which is 20 inches. So we're going to put that in here. And we also got our new men's field toilet. So this is a soft close one, and yeah, that's why we got it. And it's elongated, so we're gonna install this puppy in here right now because the pipes are open. Get it nice and tight on there. Tight, then bend this over, this puppy's in here. Be helpful if the soft close was actually down all the way. And then tuck these bolts up. You'll see right here. I don't know if I can tighten it all the way with my hands, but we'll get pretty close to it. All right, so we have our toilet here. That's the soft close portion. So soft close works really well. And then, yeah, these things got tightened up. So we're all good with those. Last part is the the flusher. Need to make sure that this works here. So we'll install this real quick. Okay, so this is pretty cheap plastic stuff. So here we have the flusher. Then we're just going to stick this up behind here and then tighten this on. Just needs to be hand tight. Doesn't need to be ridiculously tight. And that's it. That's the finished product. So what we're gonna do here is turn on the water and do a flush test, see what the sound sounds like, and make sure there's no leak underneath. Alright, we're gonna turn on the water. That'll be the sound of what it's like to fill it up. Okay. Barely heard the flush. Yeah, I can't see anything. Interesting, that was very, very quiet. Can you flush again? That sounds better. Don't see any leaks or anything. All right, we should be good to go. That is the Niagra Stealth. So let's hear it. This is comparing the other toilet to this one. We're gonna use this one for a little while. We have another toilet to replace downstairs and really see if we like this one or not. So yeah, that's your install and first day of the Niagra Stealth toilet.